Hey, what's up, everybody? Time for another game theory commentary video. EVO Street Fighter 6. If you like the videos, like, sub, like, comment, share, support the channel. I want to appreciate it. Thanks. So I didn't watch a lot of it, because it just doesn't terribly interest me. But I watched a little bit of it, and I've said before, Street Fighter 6, it's not a game that I feel compelled to play because I think it's dreadful. The thought of playing Street Fighter 6 is dreadful because the fun aspect of Street Fighter 6, I just don't think is fun. My card versus your card. Oh, I use meter here. Oh, then you use your meter there. Oh, do you think I'm going to use my drive impact here? Oh, but you didn't know that I saved my card here, right? Oh, but I saved my card here. It's literally, the game has turned out just exactly like I said it would, didn't it? It's just tug of war. My meter here, your meter here. I slime to get in here, you slime to get in here. It's just over and over and over again. Exactly how I said it would be. It's fucking slime. And I also thought, and again, I didn't watch a lot of it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the matches I did watch, just like I said, when people are like, oh, drive impact isn't going to be good because people are going to be throwing that all the time. They're going to be jumping out of that all the time. I didn't fucking see that for shit. The matches that I watched, maybe I have some matches that I didn't see. I was like, dude, that's not how the game is going to be played. And I'm like, it's literally going to be your meter versus my meter constantly over and over and over again in the match, because the most realistic way to beat drive impact is you're going to have to use your meter. So you're betting who is going to use their meter first. Do I save my meter because I don't think he's going to use his meter yet? Do I want to save it for Slimer? Blah, blah, blah. Like I said, everyone from not everyone, with a grain of salt, every character seemingly pokes the same way, it feels like, you know what I mean? And God, is it not true? I said this before. It is so lame that every character gets hit by jabs, and all these moves that don't touch characters, you get hit by a ducking. And how many times did you hear, and again, this is just what I watched. Maybe in the matches I didn't watch, they weren't saying this, but it was like, oh, he's going to drive rush in. Oh, drive rush to jab, drive rush to jab. And of course you are, because you can't duck it. Oh, he's jabbing here. You know what I mean? There's no thought process, because your moves can't miss. You know what I mean? My move can't miss technically, right? Oh, jab here. And I talked about Ken. How much did I say it right when this game was coming out? I think it's so retarded that traditionally, if you think about a character like Ken, you think that his different aspect, let's say between Ryu, Shoto wise, is that he has more pokes, right? He got the stand roundhouse and super turbo. But what did I say? I'm like, dude, it's so stupid, because you're just going to see a bunch of stand fierce from Ken, because his stand fierce is cancelable. You can Slimer rush with it, all this other kind of shit. And it exactly the same thing. You can't duck it, even though he's not touching you. And how often do you see Ken pokes now more with stand fierce than he does stand roundhouse? I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2-1, maybe even more stand fierces than stand roundhouse, because it's just, it's terrible game design to me, right? But I'm like, I just think that's silly, right? I mean, I don't know. The way poking works in the game, every character, again, quotation marks, every character, quotation marks, seemingly pokes in the same way. They all use the meter in the same way. So the game it's not mentally stimulating. It's not interesting because of that to me, right? I also think, just because I use the Blanca ball here, I still think it's funny. Like, and don't get me wrong, watching some of the crazy stuff that Blanca does, it's kind of, it gets a little bit of a reaction out of me. It's kind of interesting. But again, I've said before, I think it's humorous to me that Blanca, besides maybe hyper fighting, maybe some person would say that hyper fighting up ball is the best that Blanca's ball's ever been. It's amazing that in a game that Blanca has all these tricky ball shit, these sort of anime mix-ups and everything like that, and yet a Dragon Punch can't be invincible without meter. But Blanca ball, you know what I mean? He's doing all these crazy setups, whatever. And I know some of it takes meter, but you have these other fuck neutral buttons and then in the game, and I don't know. Again, the whole game is just Slimer versus my Slimer, your meter versus my meter, the tug of war constantly. Do you think I'm going to play the Slimer card here? Well, I'm going to try to bet, whatever. Oh, maybe I'm going to save my card, my drive impact card for later, because I think you might drive impact me here. It's just what I said. It's like, people aren't going to play the game like people were saying, And I'm like, you're not going to be jumping away from drive impact all the time. You're not going to be throwing drive impact all the time. It's never going to fucking happen. Or I should say never, right? And I'm like, but realistically, it's mostly just my meter versus your meter. That is the most realistic way to counter all this stuff. Anyway, I mean, that being said, the game, I can, watch, and it's not terrible to watch. It's okay to watch. I watched a little bit of it. It wasn't terrible to watch. It just wasn't, it's just kind of like the game is old, right? It doesn't feel like there's anything new. And actually, a strange thing that I'm not exactly sure how I should phrase this or word this is, I can't think of ever a game where, because the game is so pre-planned and set up, that when you hear, it's such a matter of fact of what you do in the game, right? So it almost seemed like it was standing out more. And again, I didn't watch a lot, right? So it could just be maybe this was just happening during the matches that I happened to watch. But it was certainly, it seemed to, listening to the announcers and everything, it was much more prevalent when people were like, oh man, I can't believe he dropped that Ken combo. I can't believe he dropped that, blah, blah, blah. All right, it seemed, I'm trying to think of how to phrase that exactly. I guess it's because the game is so simple and so matter of fact that the drops and the misses are so accentuated, maybe? I'm trying to think of how I should phrase this in English. Again, my English is bad, but, just like, certainly watching it, I didn't think of Street Fighter, oh my god, the most amazing footsies or everything like that. Certainly didn't seem like that to me or something comparatively to other Street Fighters or anything like that. And again, that's not the game is bad per se. I think the game is more competently made than, like Strive or so many of these other games nowadays. I just think it's too pre-planned and it's boring. There's no sense of adventure with the game. There's no sense of real like, he's supposed to do that there. He's supposed to do that there. The game is too matter of fact. Pokes can't miss, so that's your best poke. There's not those interesting interactions in the game. It's all just my meter versus your meter over and over. You don't see those interesting interactions, I feel like, in the game. Just, again, the game wasn't terrible to watch. The matches that I watched, it's more competently made than other games, I think. It's just too pre-planned. It's like a robot made it, And then because it's like a robot made it, when someone actually misses something, you're like, oh fuck, the robot missed it. What robot? What are you doing? Robot, what is the malfunction here? What's the malfunction here? This is a simple combo. You know what I mean? It just is. It's not like, oh man, he's going for the hard shit. It's like, oh fuck, he missed the link after the Ken Funky kick. Whoa, that was crazy. Or that one guy, I can't believe he missed the super there. It's just like such a small thing. And obviously, people miss small things even in more, let's say, complicated games. But it just seemed like it stood out more because the game is so simple. It's like, whoa, can't believe he missed the simple thing. What's going on, right? But I don't know. It just feels like the game's, it's already old, I don't know. Not sure what else to say, right? I mean, Slimer versus my Slimer, my meter versus your meter. It's like a fucking card game. Do you think I'm going to play my card here? Oh, blah, blah. Like I said, I got to do the Blanca thing because I think the Blanca thing is funny. And people are going to be like, oh, well, Blanca didn't even win. But it's just the matter of fact that, it's just funny to me that you have all these characters that have like crazy options, so to speak, and mixing you up. But, I don't like a Dragon Punch is invincible without meter. But Blanca doesn't need meter for this. And you even heard people during the commentary like, oh, well, Blanca Ball is, no one's perfect parrying the Blanca Ball. People were trying to like beat the Blanca Ball. Oh, fuck, he tried to drive impact here. Oh, he fucked it up. Wasn't supposed to do that. He's hard to parry, blah, 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 right? And it's like, man, what, I don't know. Whatever, dude. Anyway, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Appreciate it. Thanks. The end.